Nancy, I hear you're helping some friends start a new restaurant here in New York.
News travels fast. Indeed I am.
That sounds like quite a major undertaking. I wish you guys the best of luck. Everyone knows how risky and volatile the restaurant business is. Not a few people have lost their shirts when trying to make a go of it in that extremely competitive field.
You can say that again. Dinner traffic has been falling for the past 5 or 6 years. In particular, lunch business is way down.
Just why is that? It seems strange since I see restaurants crowded with diners everywhere I look.
I know what you mean. On one hand, spending at restaurants and bars in the United States has increased twice as fast as other forms of retail spending. In the 1950s, restaurants accounted for 25% of the money spent on food. Now, it's more than 50%. But these days, there are just too many places to eat. That's the harsh reality, sad to say.
I see. So it's a case of supply outstripping demand.
Yes. The economics of the restaurant business aren't very good. The fall in traffic and increasing labor costs have forced restaurant operators to raise their prices to cover costs like rent and utilities. That means dining out is becoming more expensive.
Just how bad is the labor situation?
Pretty grim. The overall labor market is very tight. High rents have forced many restaurant workers out of urban neighborhoods, and there's been a huge increase in the number of new restaurants opening around the country. All of that is making it more difficult to find and retain staff.
That explains why the quality of service has been declining at some of the dining establishments I patronize.
You're not alone in noticing a decline in standards when it comes to restaurant service. It can be little things like water glasses being left unfilled, or it can be more serious, like servers who aren't knowledgeable about the menu, or who get customers' orders wrong.
I read an article the other day about restaurants in San Francisco that can't afford to hire waitstaff. Their solution is to put diners to work. When diners go to one of these restaurants, they have to find their own table. They're expected to fill their own water glasses. And if they want another glass of wine, they get up and go to the counter.
What a novel concept. I just hope they don't ask their customers to source and cook their own food.
Not quite. The restaurants still have cooks and what they call runners who bring your order to your table.
Another new trend in the restaurant business is co-working or sharing. You've probably heard about co-working spaces. They're shared offices that are popular with freelancers, small companies, and other people who want a change of scene. Coffee shops, gyms, and social clubs are co-working spaces. The trend has now spread to restaurants. One well-known cafe here in Manhattan is a co-working space from the morning until late afternoon.
The article I read also pointed out that the industry is seeing a hollowing out in terms of restaurants in the middle of the market.
I know the kind of place you mean. They're often known as casual dining restaurants.
Right. They're being hit hard by more people buying prepared food at places like convenience stores and food trucks. I was surprised to learn that this year 1/3 of prepared meals won't come from a typical restaurant or fast food joint.
There's an interesting exception to this trend. The breakfast business is doing quite well.
I get that. Many stressed out business people don't have the time or energy to prepare a proper breakfast. And, of course, many people in the corporate world find working breakfasts useful and productive.
Many harried office workers don't have time for a proper lunch either. It's all too common for them to have what's called a sad desk lunch. Instead of taking a break for an hour or so to rest over lunch, they brown bag it at their desk. They wolf down their food, and before you know it, they're back in full work mode. If they stop working while they eat, that is.
I try to avoid doing that if I can. The traditional restaurant faces yet another threat: online delivery and takeaway services. Online restaurant sales, which simply means ordering food from restaurants via the internet, currently comprise just 2% of the restaurant market. But industry experts expect this section of the market to grow 15 times faster than the rest of the business through the end of this decade.
So what hope is there for the restaurant business?
Well, my friends see Generation X as their core market. Gen Xers are known for having a strong sense of family values, and they place a premium on getting value for their money. Many members of Generation X like quick-service mid-scale restaurants, the kind that feature all-you-can-eat salad bars and buffets. So my friends have decided to open a buffet restaurant. The basic concept is to offer meals at a fixed price and let customers fill their plates with as much food as they like in a given period of time.
That's great. I like buffets because of the variety and value they offer. But are they profitable?
Well, to run a successful buffet restaurant, you have to keep a very close eye on costs, choose your ingredients with care, and perhaps most importantly, design the physical layout of the buffet to make it appealing to customers. It shouldn't look like a glorified cafeteria.
Will your friend's restaurant specialize in a particular cuisine?
Yes, they're planning a buffet featuring Mexican Latin home cooking, with an emphasis on fresh, locally sourced ingredients. They've put together a good, solid business plan, and I think they've got a good chance at success. I hope you all can come and check it out when it opens.